It's good to be back in the United States where the prevailing mood is one of recovery and growth, with Nissan at a record 8.2% market share, thanks in part to substantial improvements in our retail network. In fact, Nissan's jump in the 2012 Customer Satisfaction Index from J.D. Power was the largest in history, from what I understand, for any mass market automaker. But our goal is to have a US market share of no less than 10%. We want the best dealer relationship and the best dealers in the United States. We need an innovative product lineup and a lucid, credible vision for the future. And we obviously are working on it. I'd like to talk to you today about how we will get there. First, let's look back. The global liquidity crisis of 2008 is behind us. We're not struggling under any great recession anymore. Employment in the United States is on the rebound. No one can predict when the next natural disaster will happen, but the past year has been an unprecedented opportunity to refine our crisis management skills. We recovered quickly from the Thai floods in October, and we recovered faster than competitors in the aftermath of the magnitude 9 earthquake and tsunami that hit Japan just 1 year ago. Despite suffering more severe damage than any other automaker, Nissan emerged with more momentum and an even stronger spirit. Now let's look forward to 2012. It comes amidst the biggest product offensive in our company's history. We will deliver one new vehicle every 6 weeks on average through 2016. We will broaden our range of models for Nissan and Infiniti, and we will build a third global brand, Datsun, positioned as an exciting new entry in Russia, India, and Indonesia, starting in 2014. Here in the United States, the 2013 Altima will deliver a new level of sophistication in design and engineering to the mid-size segment. We will reveal some surprising features and fuel economy figures tomorrow when I uncover the Altima at the New York Auto Show. In the fall, we will begin selling an all-new Pathfinder. The 2013 Pathfinder has weight reduction of more than 500 pounds and fuel economy improvements of 25% with more interior space and refinements. We'll begin selling an all-new Sentra in the fall, an affordable foundation for long-term loyalty. If the all-new Sentra is your first Nissan, it will not be your last. Next year, we begin producing the NV200, which will become New York's taxi of tomorrow. At the Jacob Javits Center this week, you'll see a full drivable prototype for the first time. Replacing New York's fleet of yellow cabs is a high-visibility branding platform, and we intend to maximize this opportunity beyond New York. And just last month, we unleashed the zero-emission Nissan Leaf for sale nationwide. We have already sold more than 27,000 Leafs worldwide, including more than 11,000 in the United States. The Nissan Leaf is the top-selling zero-emission vehicle in history. But beyond sales volume, the Leaf symbolizes our global brand commitment to innovation. It's a halo car for innovation and attracts valuable customers who have never before cross-shopped Nissan. Nissan Leaf owners are sophisticated, affluent opinion leaders. Nearly all Leaf owners in the United States are college-educated. 48% have postgraduate degrees. Most have a household income of at least $125,000. According to our newest data from 2012, 91% of Leaf owners in the USA were conquest customers who traded in cars from other car makers. And in Europe, the conquest rate is 98%. The Nissan Leaf may be the most powerful conquest vehicle in the auto industry today. In addition to sophisticated clientele with high income and education, the Leaf appeals to next-generation consumers, including those who are just starting to drive. According to a study in January by the consulting firm Deloitte, 3 out of 5 members of America's Generation Y, 30 years old and younger, want an electrified vehicle more than any other type of vehicle. So the Nissan Leaf's innovative powertrain attracts today affluent community leaders and puts Nissan in line with America's largest demographic group ever. This summer, we will move into a new phase of Leaf marketing. Instead of focusing on Nissan branding and speaking primarily to early adopters, we'll focus on real-world testimonials and speak to people we call, quote, pragmatic majority, unquote. These are the people who will make zero emission a mainstream reality. I don't want to provide too many details about Leaf customer behavior. Our driver database is valuable intellectual property and the first mover advantage, but I can say that most customers buy the Leaf for environmental reasons. Then something interesting happens. After they take delivery, their favorite attributes have nothing to do with carbon footprint. Their favorite aspects are performance and convenience. The thing they like most is the immediate acceleration. They like quietness, lack of vibration, responsiveness of regenerative braking. Most of all, they like never going to the gasoline station. They simply plug in at the end of their day, then wake up to the equivalent of a full tank without ever going to the gas station or getting a routine oil change. We're just starting to tell this story, the story of living with an EV, as opposed to simply buying one. The so-called pragmatic majority is an untapped potential market, a unique advantage for Nissan dealers, the only dealers in America who have affordable zero-emission vehicles today. Since start of sales in late 2010, early adopters have ordered Leafs online, and production has kept pace with demand. By July, we should finally have vehicles in showrooms nationwide. Dealers, the entrepreneurs who know their communities and customer best, will be able to offer Leafs for test drives and longer-term loans so their customers can discover the performance and convenience of an all-new powertrain. Instead of relying primarily on early adopters who learn of the Leaf virally, dealers will soon be able to reach out directly to prospective customers and let them experience the Leaf up close and personal. This is an exceptional opportunity, and we think the Leaf will unleash a new level of innovation in Nissan showrooms. For example, just next month, Penske Automotive Group will officially open Nissan and Infiniti dealerships in downtown San Francisco, a 7-story complex that will be one of the largest automobile retailing locations in the United States. This building will be a new flagship for auto retailing and a regional destination for people interested in the Nissan Leaf and zero-emission cars to come from both Nissan and Infiniti. One of the most frequent questions I get is whether I'm still bullish on EVs. Yes, I still believe there will be 10% of the market in 2020 in all the regions where these cars will be available. Yes, I still believe the Renault-Nissan Alliance will sell cumulative 1.5 million electric vehicles by 2016. Given how much our customers like their Leafs and given how early we are in the sales curve of this new technology, I have zero doubt that zero emission is here to stay and to become an important segment of the market. I recognize the challenge. I recognize the skeptics. I'm frankly used to them. 13 years ago, skeptics said that the Renault-Nissan Alliance would fail. One of the most frequently quoted auto industry executives said in 1999 that Renault would be better off sinking $5.4 billion of gold bullion in the ocean rather than investing in Nissan. Today, nothing seems farther from the truth. The industry has reached a clear consensus. Just as the future belongs to car companies that make products in line with customers' environmental and social values, the future is one of more and more collaboration, not so-called walled gardens. Ours is an industry of scale, and the minimum volume necessary to achieve competitive economies of scales keeps going up from 4 million to 6 million to 8 million units today. Truly, global car groups must produce a full range of products from urban microcars to luxury sedans. The definition of luxury changes from Europe to China or to Indonesia. We must have a range of powertrain technologies, diesel in Europe, CVTs and gasoline cars in China, hybrids and EVs in Japan. And we need a full spectrum of vehicles and powertrains in the United States still the world's most diverse car market. The only way to have the right products in every market without destroying brand identity or killing corporate culture is through collaborations. The past 10 years has been a graveyard of failed mergers and acquisitions in our industry. Renault-Nissan Alliance is the only major cross-cultural combination that has survived, the only one that has actually expanded through regional and global partnerships, including Ashok Leyland in India, Mitsubishi in Japan, Avtovaz in Russia, and more recently and broadly with the Daimler Group. These partnerships are difficult to manage and require leaders who manage people across cultures, time zones, and languages, and even across multiple companies. But as many of my colleagues at other companies are now demonstrating, they are key to preserving brand identity while unlocking economies of scale. If we exclude Russia, the European economy will be down this year and stagnant for the next several years at best. The abnormal strength of the yen continues to put Nissan at a disadvantage compared to rivals based in Korea or based in the United States. If the Eurozone remains in a slump and if the yen continues to trade below 100 to the dollar, particularly below 90, we will continue operating in a crisis mode in 2 of the 3 mature markets. But in a certain way, I have reasons for a lot of optimism. In China, Nissan's largest market worldwide, total industry volume should continue to increase for about 8% to 18.6 million units this year. Nissan sales should grow more than 10% to 1.4 million units. Nissan will consolidate its position as the top Japanese brand in China. In the United States, consumers are replacing aging cars. Volume is likely to increase to 14 or 14.5 million units this year. Nissan should increase sales by at least 14% to 1.2 million units in the United States. Overall, Nissan's global sales forecast for fiscal year 2012 stands at 5.4 million units, up 12% from 2012. This should give Nissan a global market share of 6.8%. Ultimately, the most encouraging data is that people really still want cars. By 2050, our planet, function of the latest forecast, will likely be home to 2.5 billion vehicles, up from less than 1 billion today. This is a tremendous opportunity, but we can't just keep selling cars that rely exclusively on a single and non-renewable resource. If we did, the global parking lot would become an environmental disaster of our own making. With a growing mix of zero-emission vehicles, including the first wave of EVs now, cars will become a symbol of sustainability. They won't be seen as a source of air and noise pollution, but a driver of employment, mobility, and progress. Nissan is deeply committed to ensuring that our industry can prosper and meet the expectations of society for safer, cleaner, and more affordable mobility for the 21st century and beyond. By injecting innovation at every level, from our products to the strategic business platform of the Renault-Nissan Alliance, we can accomplish all our goals. Thank you, and I'm ready for the questions.